So you've got to ask the question that if you turn up to work exhausted and you're getting grief for turning up to work exhausted and not being able to do it because you can't function effectively, then you've got to ask the question, is that behaviour workable?
So then going back to, say for instance, someone who doesn't have a whiteboard, I mean plenty of people do, but I don't have myself. But when I went through a period of, I started the gym and then incrementally, I wasn't so much increasing the workout, but I was adding days.
Yeah.
How would you, and obviously this could be a different situation for different people, but with the same outline, is that once they start doing one thing, at what point do you need to recognize, okay, this is not now me doing this because it's a healthy habit, but I'm trying to control something? At what point would people go, okay, this is something I need to recognize now? Because people can become quite ignorant because they think they're in control.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a very difficult question. I think it depends on the individual. I think once you, I mean, as I said before, behaviours are either workable or not workable. So let's take, for example, somebody who is going to the gym so much that they're exhausted every day and they're unable to do their day job, for example. You would argue that that's probably unworkable. So unless they're actually somebody who's competing, you know, like bodybuilding or some sort of strength thing or CrossFit or something like that, then, you know, there's very little need to actually train that much. So you've got to ask the question that if you turn up to work exhausted and you're getting grief for turning up to work exhausted and not being able to do it because you can't function effectively, then you've got to ask the question, is that behaviour workable? And I would argue that it's probably not workable in that particular scenario. So there's a lot of these sort of questioning things that we do in ACT around workability of behaviours, because, you know, when we do stuff, right, we tend to do behaviours which either give us relief or they give us satisfaction. So satisfaction is doing, you know, let's say I do a hobby, or I spend time with my kids, or, you know, I do something that kind of gives me some sort of joy or satisfaction.
Chocolate Brazil nuts.
Oh, chocolate Brazil nuts.
Chocolate Brazil nuts. Well,
for me, it's a Toblerone. I love a Toblerone.
Have you seen how many calories are in those? It's shocking.
I don't
it's
care.
Disgusting.
I don't care. So every time I go through an airport, gotta get the Toblerone. It's kind of obligatory.
So anyway,
and I've completely lost my thread now. I've completely lost my thread. I don't know what I was talking about. What was I saying?
You're asking the wrong person, because
you
I
can't remember. You can't remember.
Genuinely, if I don't catch a thought, it's like someone's let the cage open and the bird has flown away.
Yeah. I was thinking it would be more like a balloon and all the air. Oh dear.
But we did have a point, and
we did. It's doing really well. If we could only rewind what I was just talking about, it's completely gone in my head.
Yeah, we're not Sky Plus, are we?
We're not Sky Plus, unfortunately. No.
But on that bombshell, we will come to a close. But thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you again, Dan, and we'll continue to make great content. I'm just going to wipe the tears from my eyes now. And until the next time.
It's not that sad. I haven't been that bad, have I?
No, it's been funny. It's about, I'm thinking too much of chocolate now, and this is just going to go off on a tangent. And
I'm feeling a bit peckish now, so I'm sure it's lunchtime.